Well, hello there, ladies. Welcome to the Queen Network. My name is Jonah Stout, the founder of the Queen Network. And who are we? We are a group of women, kingdom women, and men. And when it comes to our finances and our relationships, we just choose to do things the kingdom way. That's our mantra, and that's what we stand on. You guys know I'm always fired up when I get off of Women in Crypto. Such a powerful platform. It is definitely a movement. It's not just another meeting. We're not just talking about business. We really bring education to that platform so that women can have a safe space to be able to ask questions, so that we can share the platform that a lot of us are using already. That platform is paying us out every single week, every single month, and we just want to share it. We want to share it with the world. But tonight we got a chance to watch a video, and when it's talk, it basically was focused on kind of the signs of the time and what's happening right now with inflation. And they had three case studies that they were showing how they had to cut certain parts of their budget, and it was two couples, do different things. They have kids, but my attention immediately went to the single mom, and she had a little child. And some of the things she was saying was that he's noticed that he hasn't been able to go to swim lessons and all of the things that he's used to doing during the summer, and she's had to cut back in certain areas just to make sure that they have the bare necessities on the table. And I kind of got into this space of, I was watching the couples kind of, go through their scenario of cutting the budget. And the women are usually the ones that are kind of, handling the finances for the most part. Some men do, but most women are the ones that handle it. So they're sitting down at night with a tablet or a spreadsheet, and they're trying to figure out, based on necessities, what can we afford to buy and what we have to cut and all of that. And then when you add kids to the mix, especially as a mom, because you really want to give your kids everything. So I watched this young lady. I just immediately I thought about what her evenings might be. Let's say she works during the day, and then she has to come home to a child. She said she had to change the child's daycare to bring the child closer home so she could, spend less on gas. I'm sure that was an interruption in his space because he's used to his friends. So now he's having to, get used to new friends. And then somewhere in her core, she's thinking, I'm having to do all of these things because I don't have enough. One of the reasons why I talk a lot about relationships, and my platform is about relationships and finances, and they both go together. Um, I teach this whole cryptocurrency blockchain space. We have Bitcoin babies, Bitcoin babes, and Bitcoin bosses, and the fall semester is about to come back. And so if you are a part of our student roster, pay attention to your email. You'll be getting the schedule for the next 30 to 45 days, those classes. And I love doing that because I love educating people, because it helps to remove the fear so that they're not afraid to step into something new. As people continue to go through these changes, some said, it's just going to get worse, it's going to get worse. But it's not going to get worse for everyone. Not for those that pay attention and make the right moves. And so I said this on the call tonight. I'm really praying that God gives me creative ways to be able to connect with people so that they can see that there is hope. There's always hope. And regardless what their spiritual life is, I know for me, I will never be without hope because of who I serve. And so I want to impart some of that into them, to say that there are so many ways to make your money grow. The bank's been doing it forever. It's time for you to do it yourself. And so we found a way that you can grow your own money. I asked this question when I was in Michigan, and I was so surprised that when I finished once I was asking the third question, every woman in the house was on their feet. Number one, every woman in the house was over 40. And I said, do you have a retirement plan? Do you have a plan? And tonight someone said the same thing that Do you have a plan? Are you going to have to work until you die? This gentleman told this woman tonight that was talking on the platform, he said, I'm going to have to work until I die because I have kids. I'm like, oh my God, seriously? You're going to have to work until you die. There's really no retirement anymore because people don't have a retirement fund. And if they do, because of inflation, it's not enough. You know, and ladies, we outlive our husbands. You meet a lot of widows. Their husbands have been dead well over 15, 20 years. So you have a minimum of somewhere around 20 years beyond his passing that you have to be taken care of. What does that look like? I had a friend of mine said, she was like, you know what, I will not be eating cat food. And I said, I will not be standing in the back room of some of my children's homes. No, that would not be my story because right now I know way too much to be able to take care of myself in my latter years. I still plan to travel. I'm believing for good health and so forth and so on. So it is important to me that I continue to keep having these conversations. Do you even have a retirement fund? Or like this gentleman said, he's going to have to work until he dies. Or are you in a space that you have just enough until you die? Maybe your house is paid for and all you have are your utilities and you've already looked at, okay, well, you know, all I have is my utilities. I can afford to go on a couple of trips a year or whatever. That's great. But the Bible says that once we leave this side, we are supposed to leave wealth generated for 2 generations. Do you have that? Do you have a plan and something that's going to continue to grow and to build and outlive you? If the answer is no, then hit me up. I would love to share with you this plan that we're walking in the Kingdom Investors Club. But this young lady tonight really touched my heart. She really moved me because I began to think about what she thinks about at the end of the day and what she thinks about when she wakes up in the morning knowing she has just enough and sometimes not even that. I wish I knew who she was because I would sure tell her different. So right now, anyone under the sound of my voice, if you know and you answered those 3 questions, you said, Jonah, I don't have a retirement plan, then I can show you one. I have just enough to pay my utilities, my house is paid for, and I can take a trip a year. I'm like, baby girl, your latter years are supposed to be better than your former years. It's still just enough. It's really not enough. And then if you don't have wealth that's generating beyond your death, that's not Bible either. So hit the queen up. I'll send you some information. No pressure. I'm just trying to share and really operate in this mission that God has put in my hands for the Queen Network. We are a group of professional kingdom men and women. And when it comes to our relationships and when it comes to our finances, very, very simple. We just choose to do things the kingdom way. Guys, have a great night. Bye-bye.